welcome to my channel. Thanks for passing by. This is Betty. I'm a nutritionist and I'm helping you transition to a plant-based lifestyle. I'm also helping you to heal from chronic diseases. I healed myself from Hashimoto, psoriasis and acne, restless leg syndrome, and so much more. And today I'm coming to tell you also about my singing. I'm also an opera singer, and I have experienced an amazing benefits from going vegan. And also this affected my voice. So if this is interesting for you, please keep watching. Before I start telling you about my voice specifically, I want to mention that I'm vegan for 11 years, almost 11 years. I did overcome Hashimoto, so it's in hormonal imbalances. I did overcome psoriasis and acne. My skin was really bad since I was a very young girl. And there are so many benefits from this lifestyle that I personally experienced. But what happened is that I was getting sick a lot. And my sister, who is a dietitian as well, she suggested to go vegan. Actually, she suggested me to first go vegetarian and said, like, just stop eating meat and see what happens. I talk a lot about it in my webinar. If you're interested, please sign for the webinar. It's really, explaining everything, how the vegan diet have helped me and how it can help you as well. I was getting sick. I was already a singer, meaning I was studying, I was a student, and I had many concerts and I was pretty good. So I was occupied and I was busy with music. So my sister suggested me just, do something. You have a semester break now, you should be doing some cleans, maybe it's gonna be better for you. The biggest reason why my sister, whom is the hero here because she suggested these changes, I had a big problem with my jaw. One day, it was actually a few days before I became vegetarian, my jaw completely locked. I always had problems when I was a singer with a very stiff jaw. My face is pretty big. That's the advantage when it comes to singing. But in general, my physiology is it's like really big joints here, and my jaw got stuck. And I actually took very strong pills for that to unlock my jaw. Like, it was probably from stress or from incorrect singing. So she told me, Betty, it's the time to take care of yourself. And that's what I did. Here I am 11 years ago, never looked back. But what happened is I was getting sick. I remember it as it was today. We were singing a massive piece in the university and I was sick. And I remember I had so much mucus in my lungs that for the last 10 minutes of like an hour performance, I was basically just, I was choking from this much mucus I had in my lungs. And it was just a horrible experience when you are on stage and everybody looks at you and I'm like, it was the moment I finished singing. It was horrible. I was sick during that time for 2 weeks. It was not getting any better, okay? And that's when I said, like, it's enough. I wanna do something with it. I'm an opera singer. For me, this body thing is so important because this is what I'm making money with. So I wanted to change something. Here, my sister comes, a hero, and told me what's up, what I should do. Since then, since I stopped, especially with dairy products, and everybody will tell you that, especially singers or someone who is using their voice so much, that dairy is horrible. And that's what happened. I stopped with dairy, and within a couple of days, I noticed a big change. And I'm not the only vegan singer that will tell you that. This whole thing here became clean and empty and just so hydrated, like unbelievable. These are very specific things that a singer will feel. Okay, for example, when I go running outside, immediately after I feel something is happening because I'm breathing through my mouth when I'm running, which I avoid, and I prefer to run indoor. But when I'm going outside and it's a bit colder, especially, or very dry, it affects my voice. It's something that singers feel immediately. Even though I speak normally and I feel normally, I feel different. So that was exactly what happened when I stopped eating dairy. Of course, at the same time, I stopped eating dairy, milk, and eggs, but the meat, the dairy I felt was the biggest, because first I became vegetarian and then 2 months later I became vegan. So I felt like the dairy had a huge impact. And here I am, a decade later, when I am getting sick, and now listen to me, when I am getting sick, I can still sing. That's the advantage. What I mean by this is, I've been going to Florida since 2016. In those specific concerts, we sing a lot. Most of those tours, we are singing a lot, meaning there is a show after show, night after night. And almost on every single tour I got sick. Not in a way like, I'm sick with fever, but it's the voice. Every year when I was getting sick, like really exhausted and like you feel your voice needs to rest, I could still sing that night. Of course, it was not perfect. Of course, there were certain moments that I wanted to, let's say, okay, this song we don't sing, but this we sing. But still, I pulled this show off. That's the advantage of when your body is strong and healthy, especially in those hard moments, it still keeps going and does the job. When I am sick, I can still sing. Even if I'm in the morning completely voiceless, when I warm up and I go in the evening, I am good. So this happens every time I have laryngitis. So this is like, some people really can't speak for days. For me, it takes basically a few hours from the moment I wake up with a, I have no voice, to the evening, and in the evening, I'm like, perfect. Okay, not perfect, but I can still sing, and normal people won't hear the difference. That's the advantage of having a mucusless diet, that you don't create so much mucus and it just does not affect you. So that's my story. I am, first of all, not really getting sick. I can still sing every night since then. And previously, before that, I really was sick. I was really suffering. The amount of mucus I had in my lungs. I remember that specific show so much because I was afterwards sick for 2 weeks with no improvement. Now I am just not having it. So I do recommend you going vegan, definitely. It's not only that, it affected my voice, it also affected my thyroid, my whole skin, from psoriasis to acne, restless leg syndrome, which is pretty hard to find a solution for, and I did it. So I do recommend you going vegan. This is the best decision you will ever make. I promise this to you. If you don't know how to do it, send me a message, leave a comment. I'll be so happy to answer. And please see the webinar. This is gonna really change your life. Once you see that thing, you'll realize, if I could make this change, you can too.